This video we're talking about CSS3 image card. What image card actually means that a kind of an image inside a box and you have some text written in it, sort of a description of the image. Okay, so let me put this screen in order so the two screen be equal. I think it's okay. Now I will start by creating my HTML structure, basic structure. Then inside my body elements, I will add a div. Then inside div, I will also create another div. Let me put, first of all, add this. Since we are going to use image, I will be first of all adding image. Then look at this. Look for the image location. I want to use this image. It's very big, but we'll still use it anyway. If you refresh now, you can see this image cover the whole screen is not. The image is too big, so but we'll do with that inside CSS. Okay, so the next thing I will be adding now, I will create my div. I'll create my div. Then I will create my main div. I will give my main div a class name. You can use ID if you want, but I want to use class. I prefer class personally. Okay, so let me give it. Let me give the class name something like. Let me say image card. Okay, let me say. Let me just give it a name that sounds reasonable. Let me say main card. Or let me say. Let me use the word container. Let me use the word image container. Let me use underscore image container, so it will look a little bit, to make a little bit sense. Image container, that's in the class name I'm giving to my main div that contains the image and the text. Then I will give the text let me write something here. The name of the image description will be I will use uppercase letter MSC MSC image image. Okay, dot, let me add the extension dot png. You can just use this thing. Okay, so I'll be giving the div a class name called, let me give it a class name, let me call it image. Let me just use image. Okay, let me use my image. Let me give it a class name. You can actually use anything that you want inside this. Can give it any name. Once, just make sure that the name is unique to that particular element. Don't use the same name, otherwise it will, anyone you start with will have effect on all the one that have the same class name. So I will say my image. Let me use my image. I'll say my image. I think I'm done with this place. I've created div container and then add image, then add the text. Okay, yeah, I think I'm done. Then I will now link my external CSS because I'm writing the codes here in my external CSS. So to do that, I'll link my external CSS. So if you don't know how to link external CSS, go and watch my video on CSS insert and you will understand how we do that. Okay, now I haven't linked my CSS external page. I will now reduce the screen. All I would like to is inside this space. So to make this thing a card and then bring this image description, which is msc image.png, inside the card, I'll first of all make sure that my image is in order. You can see this image is not in order. Let me make it to be in order. I'll first of all, before I call the image, I'll first of all give call my first div. My first div name is what? Is my first div is called image container. I called my main div that contains the image and text image container. Okay, let me make it more descriptive. Image and let me use with image. Let me underscore image and text container. So I want it to be more descriptive. Let me put underscore here. Then put underscore here. Image and the text container. This is the class name. So I'll first of all I'll first of all call this first class and then give it its property and value. So to do that, I will say to call a class in CSS, use dot class name, and then you open the declaration block and give it property and value. So the name of our class, the first div is image, image underscore. I think we want the underscore, yeah, underscore and underscore. You can just use one simple word and it is even more enough. But due to this, for better this illustration of this, we have to use detailed word. Okay, image and text underscore container container. I think okay, this spelling is correct. Okay, image and text container. Then I will now open a declaration block. Inside this declaration block, I will now use let me first of all give my div a box, kind of a box width and all that. So let me give it let me say width. Let me use width. Width. Let me give it say 400. Say 400. Is it too much? If it's too much, I will still reduce it. 400 pixels. So make sure you put semicolon after adding your property and value. Then the next now we'll be using box sizing. So it will make sure everything is inside. Box sizing, then border box. Okay, this is to make sure that the image and everything is inside one. But you will not see effect here until I enter the image class and change some things inside. So having done this, I've given it the basic thing that I need to. So let me work with my image so that it will fit within this box now that I created now. Already it's inside the box, but it's not, the image need to be touched. Okay, so coming down, the class of my image is my image. So I'll say my image underscore my underscore image, I think. Let me see. Yeah, here is it. Um my underscore image. Okay. You have to be mindful of the letter. Once you miss any, even if it's spacing any small thing, it will not work. So you have to be very sensitive to all this thing. You put dots my underscore image underscore image, open a decoration block. So inside this decoration block now, we'll now give the image, let me give the image some property and value so it will respect itself and fit within the box. So to do that, I will say not this one, I will use what's it called, width. I will use width. Width will be 100%, 100%, 100%. Okay, then I will use the height will be the height the height will be author. Okay, uh supposed to show here. Why is it not showing? Okay, let me add this thing to my I forgot to add height to my, what's it called, to my box. Let me add it, let me make it 400 by 400, 400 pixel. Okay, let me close this spacing. Okay, then suppose this thing's supposed to change now. Oh, I messed up. The class name that I used was the one for my image. Okay, sorry about that. You can see this class is for image. This test, my image, this is my image, this is my image description. That's what I want. Let me use a well understood one. Let me say my image description, or let me say my image details. Details. I think this is more better. So this thing is for my test, for my image description, not for my image. So I'll use image element selector here, not class. Element selector simply means using the name of the element. That's what I'm supposed to use. img to work now. Yeah, this is what I meant. It's supposed to work. Okay, it's now working. You can see the image. You can see all of them are inside the card. But let me reduce this to, because for the sake of this screen, if it's wider screen, I will leave it. But it's auto, so you have to fix it. For the sake of this small screen, I have to make it. Let me reduce the size of the div. Let me make it say, let me say 300 pixel by 300 pixel. Then this one 300 pixel, 300 pixel. Okay, now to still reduce, when I start putting effect on them, it must surely reduce. Okay, should I even reduce it even more, because it seems to be too big. I don't really like the way it looks. Let me reduce this to, let me say 200 pixel. let me make 200 by 200. Okay, then let me add shadow to it so that this text, you will see that this text is inside, is together with this. Okay, let me add shadow, say shadow, no, shadow, box shadow. Yeah, yes, box shadow. Then I'll now add my values. Say something like 2 pixels. Say 2 pixel. Give 3 pixel. You can give any you can give any this thing you want, any value, and put pixel. Then once you put the value, then you evaluate, you will shake it till it reaches your test, what you, how you want the shadow to look like. Then let me add 50 pixel here and see what the effect looks like. What's happening? I think what's actually happening, box sizing. Let me make this one say 4 pixel. This thing's supposed to have effect on this. Why is it not giving me? Where is this? Do I have any issue anywhere? Let me check. Let me remove these heights. Why is this thing supposed to respond by now? What is the issue? It's supposed to respond by now. It's supposed to respond. What if I, let me create this author for, I'm not sure if the author is the issue. It's not the issue. I think image is not, is never the issue. What could be the issue now? Let me check. This is the box, this width. Okay, let me confirm our class name. Let me see. Let me put, let me say for this thing is supposed to work. Let me do something. This thing's supposed to respond. Why is it not responding? Okay, let me just do something like this now. Let me grab this bus. I'm not sure it's this, but let me just try something. Let me try something out. Let me grab this. Then let me cut it and then push it to the front. Let me push it here. Then let me, I'm not sure this thing is the issue. Once it's inside the, this thing is supposed to work. Okay. Okay, and then I press this here. Let me clear this. Okay. Why is it not responding the way it should? Okay, let me add property to test first. I'll come back to you. Let me do test. The test class name is my image description. My image underscore my image, these dots first, dots, my underscore image, my underscore image, image, my image, underscore details, not description, details, details. Okay, then let me open the declaration block. Inside the declaration block, let me just give the test some property. Let me just give it let me say font size. So this, let me give it font size so the size will increase more. Say font size, font size. Let me give it something like say 2em. Okay, then let me also add what else should I add? Let me add what is it called again? Let me add if I use, let me align, if I align this text, the text is long, it will align, but okay, let me just align it anyway. Align the text, align to come about the space between the, this thing will be a little bit, align, text align, text align, text align center, let it be in center. Okay, the text is now aligned in center. So my issue now is, why is it not uh, showing me the card? Why is it not separating? I must figure this out. Definitely, I must figure you out now. I must figure this out. Okay, Instead of doing this image, why not I use let me use shared combinator to do this. Let me remove this image and use a shared combinator. So let me grab this thing is the shade of this one. Let me grab this, copy it, control C, no, undo, control C. Let me copy this and then put it here, control V. Then before the image, I'll put dot image container. Then I will not put greater sign for this and then put image. So I think it's supposed to work. Why don't it work? This is a shade of this one. It's a direct shade of it now. Why not? Let me give space. Let me know why you are not working. Supposed to give this attribute to it. Why are you not working? We have dot there. I sure I'm not having issue from anywhere here. Image underscore. Probably have to start afresh. Okay, I'm not starting afresh. I think here's the issue. I figure out the issue now. I give it a long class name. I give it a class name. Then that's why I say we have to be very sensitive to this, because I give it a space. Now I figure it out. I give it a space. So this is the way it was before. Okay, so if I had not really checked this now, we could have start afresh to figure it out, because that's where I do my own code. If I don't figure it out, I start afresh and pay attention to every details. Okay, so the issue is that there's a space between this image and underscore. Okay, there's space between white space between this image and underscore, and the class name is very sensitive. It pays attention to every detail. So that's what it follows to make it unique. Okay, so say if I put space between this image and underscore, now you see the effect now. Not here, not this place. It's supposed to not this place, but here. This one I give the space, I filled it up, but here you have a white space. That's why it's not responding. So what we actually doing here all the while was we just let me comment this and so you see you understand what I meant. I thought the issue was from him, but probably let me comment this one out. Uh, this thing, let me not supposed to affect this one. Let's put you here. Okay. So all we have done along this box is not yet activated, so it's not even concerned about what we're only doing since was we are just working with only the image, this author and height. That's what have effect on the image. Only this. So this shadow box and the sizing is not having any effect because of this simple LOS. So what we have to do, we have to clean this space between them. So by clearing this space is now working. Okay, so we proceed. I'll be using what's it called? I'll be using this shared shared combinator. You can watch my video on CSS combinator so you understand how this thing are done. Then let me remove the comments so I can use that shared combinator. It's the best practice to me. I think it's the best practice. So having said that, let me reduce this text description to 1 EM and see how it looks like. It looks a little nice, but it's too small. Let me make it 1.5. I think 1.5 is okay. You can see this here is my image and here is the description. Okay, so inside this place now I will now add my width, my height, because I think I really need it. Let me make it give it a height of I forgot to put semicolon here. Then let me give it a height of let me say 300 pixels, 300 pixel by 300 pixel. Let me make it 300, so it will be like a square box. 300 pixel by 300 pixel. You can see the changes. Okay, this one is it really okay? What if I want to bring this text down? Because if I add more text here now, let me see, add more text here now, it will be coming down. Okay, let's see what Okay, it's going out. It's not supposed to go out. Okay, it's supposed to go out. Okay, okay. So the description of the image is image.png. The whole idea of this video is to do something like a image card. So the image will be in the card, and the card will have a description like this one. So you are seeing description. So I want to let me push this. Let me try and push this image description to somewhere in the middle here. So somewhere in the middle here. Let me see whether that will work. What if I use something like margin? Let me say margin. I want to see whether margin top will do this for me. I'm supposed to do that. Or let me add padding first. Let me use padding. Let me start with padding. If I add padding, if it does not work, I'll see what else to do. Let me see padding author. Will do that for me. It's not doing that for me. Okay. It's not doing that for me. So what I will do, let me try if I say pad, is there anything like padding top? Probably there's padding top. How about padding top? Let me say 20 pixels. No, it's affecting the whole box, which is not what I want. It's not what I want. It's not what I want. Let me create this. Let me use margin. See how it looks like. Let me say margin. Well, margin top. Let me say 10 pixels. I think it will still affect this 10 pixel. It's affecting the whole div. I really want to put that. I really want to put that text to the middle, to the center. Okay, I really need to put it. Does it really matter? Putting it in the center, does it really matter now? Since the text is aligned in the center, pushing it down now. Does it really matter? It matters. I will do that, but it's affecting this image is moving. No, I think I'm the one that is wrong. I'm working in image and the text container. So I'm working in the container as a whole. The container. So I'm supposed to do this thing inside an image container image. So I'm working on what I'm adding is on the image. It's supposed to be inside the text detail, which is this text. Okay, sorry about that. Let me see to that. Let me add that margin again. That is supposed to work. Let me use let me say padding. Let me say padding. Let me say padding top and see what it looks like. Let me say padding top. Let me say 20 pixels. 20 pixel. Yeah, I think this is what I'm supposed to do. You can see the image is now moving. I think I'll use padding to do this. Let me use padding to do it. The text is already aligned center. I just want to push it to the center. So I'll use, let me say padding 30 pixel. I think it's almost in center, about 40. Yeah, perfectly in the center. Not actually. Let me make it 50. Yeah, it's now in the center. This is the image description. So let me add some color to it so it will look a little bit more nicer. Let me say something like let me add text color. Okay, let me give it a color that might match this thing. Let me use golden node, and see how it looks like. You can see that it looks nice. Okay, so this is how to do CSS what is it called, CSS um CSS3 image card. So how about if I want to add functionality, so that assuming that a person who is not who have maybe low short eye sightedness or long sightedness, either on the person cannot read this text here, coding for fun. I want when the person bring the mouse over to this image will enlarge so the person can read the details. I'll just it's not part of this video, but I just want to add it. Let me just say I'll use a pseudo class to add hover and then add the property. So for the sake of people who might have maybe eye problem or something like that, so I will just grab this what is it called, I will use the image container as a whole because I want the thing to affect all of them as a whole. So I'll grab this dot class, just copy it, come down, then now I will paste it, Control V, and then use a pseudo class. Let me say hover pseudo class using hover. Now I will now open a decoration block. I'll give it a property and values. The initial size, I want to double this. I want to maybe say triple the size so that it will be very visible for the viewer. who want to, or let me say, um this is our initial width, 300 and 300 pixels. Let me make it 600 pixels, so it will double the size of this, so it can be easy for the person to view. Let me start by giving width. Since our initial one is 300 by 300, so I'll give it a 300. I'll give it 600 pixel, 600 pixel. Then I'll give the height 600 pixel, 600 pixel. Then let me also add shadow, so it will also have shadow effects as is. Okay, you can see that it's now bold. Let me open the wider screen. You can see this now. You can see that. So the person can now read it. Once you remove the mouse, the thing will reduce. You know, I always like adding transition. Let me add transition duration so it will make more sense. Let me add it inside this box. Let me add transition duration. Transition duration. TR. Transition duration. Here is it. Let me give it. Let me say 2 seconds. 2x for seconds. Yeah, you can see the effect. Yeah, so it can um, just add do in form of a small animation before it will display the full size. Okay, I think this is all for this video. Thank you for watching. Remember, this is a CSS3, an advanced CSS. It has some different property and some values that are not in normal CSS and all that. So thank you for watching. See you in the next video.